Hey, this is Michael Palmer with Outlaw Renegade Nation. My co-host today is Greg Marmon. How you doing, Greg?
I'm doing very well today.
Doing very well. We are lucky enough to sit down with Tyler and Phil from Wayland. Just sat through your sound check. Fucking incredible, man.
Thanks, man.
Tell us about the story behind Reno, first of all. We'll get to all of it, but let's talk about Reno.
Yeah, it was inspired by true events. You know, not all. Some of our songs, you know, just kind of make up words, and some of them mean something very personal to us. And that was a wild time. I mean, our brakes went out coming out of Spokane, Washington, in the middle of the night in our van. We were in a van and trailer, a trailer that was way too big for the van. The brakes went out in the middle of the night. Were you driving?
No, Chip was driving.
Our old tech was driving.
Yeah.
And we used the power brake to slow down. And basically, we had to get to a private party that we'd been hired to play in Reno. So the band brought as much gear as we could on a plane the very next morning and flew down there. And the guys stayed and got the brakes fixed. So we were stuck in Reno for a couple days, basically. And lucky for us, the guys that we were playing the private party for were great hosts. And really,
Too good a host.
yeah, really showed us the town. And so, you know, we were inspired. We'd never really been to a place like that. It's not a Las Vegas, and I mean, Reno definitely has its own identity.
It does.
You know, it's got some
I lived in
shiny-
Tahoe for a while.
Okay, yeah.
So, like, Reno, we called it Drano. And so, anyway. Okay, let's talk about, when I was posting about interviewing you guys are the hardest working band in fucking show business. Hands down. You do 200 to 300 shows a fucking year.
We're on the road a lot.
What is that like? And please share one of your favorite road stories, both of you.
Road stories.
Road story.
You know what? When I get asked that question a lot. It's kind of like when someone asks us, "Where are you yesterday?" and your mind just goes completely blank for a half a second. You really have to think about one. So at this moment, I don't have any road stories popping into my head.
Well, we recently left the bus driver at a truck stop for about 3 hours in the middle of
Who the fuck was
nowhere,
driving the
Wisconsin.
bus?
Tyler was driving at the time. He was probably the secondary driver. Honestly, it's a lap a second. Every single day is an adventure. You know, we play everything from festivals with 20, 30,000 people to places. Sometimes you show up in the middle of nowhere, Louisiana, and play to 30 people. You know, or less than that.
Well, let's talk about what's coming up, and we'll get this is a follow-up question as well. Is you're getting ready to play Sturgis?
Oh yeah.
3 knots, correct?
Mm-hmm.
How fucking excited are you about that? That's going to be
It's a wild place. Man.
because I mean you all have brought rock and roll back to what it is. The backing vocals, the just in your face, punch you in the fucking face kind of rock and roll that we love, and we thank you for that. You're no fucking Nickelback or Creed or none of that. You're fucking rock and roll, and that's what we needed. So
I mean, all those bands you mentioned, everyone has their own identity, and they bring something to the table that's special and unique. Honestly, we appreciate those bands too.
I love that cover.
We never really decided on a sound. It's just the kind of sound that we make when we all get together.
now you're named after your city, correct?
Yeah, it's my hometown. Tyler's from right near there. It's kind of our area. Yeah.
And so what was it like when you were growing? When you were putting the band together? What, 2010, 12? When was it?
We changed our name to Wayland. I think 2009 or 10. Yeah.
And did y'all just grow up together and you?
No,
just
we didn't know each other. We knew a lot of the same people, but we didn't meet till we met in LA actually.
Oh,
We all
okay.
kind of moved out there to pursue music. Tyler came a little bit later, and it's funny how 4 dudes from the Midwest attract each other in a big city like Los Angeles.
That is crazy.
Oh,
Yeah,
yeah.
I lived there when I was doing stand-up comedy back in the 90s, and
Must have been a while.
Yeah, it was. Well, when Kennison's your best friend, it was pretty crazy. Greg, I'm taking on the spotlight. You had a couple of questions about gear.
Well, you know, me being a guitar player and everything, I'm always wondering about, you know, what you guys are playing through, you know, and I'm sure there's some gearheads out there that are going to be listening that want to know. So I noticed you're kind of a Gibson guy, right?
Yeah,
For the
not
most
on
part.
purpose. They're just the guitars I've been attracted to and gravitate toward. I like the big sound. I have a couple Fender. I have a Fender Telecaster on the road right now. I'm not playing it tonight's set just because it's certain tuning that it calls for, but yeah, I kind of have lean toward Gibsons, but I like them all. You know, we love guitars. I think even Tyler, our drum, we all love guitars. We're all
Yeah.
guitar
Yeah.
snobs, and we're we love good gear. I mean, I get excited about a new snare drum that he got last couple weeks ago.
I want to ask about that kick drum.
Yeah, that's what we were wondering about, the
That-
size of that.
What is the size of that kick drum? I love it.
That's a 26 by 15.
26 by 15. Okay.
Yeah, which is actually an odd size because normally you find the 26 by 14 or a 26 by 16. But yeah, that one's actually a 26 by 15.
Okay.
Tyler recently had to have an addition put on to his doghouse to keep all his snare drums.
Yeah,
pretty cool.
We want to talk about going back to playing Sturgis. You got a bit of a history with Jesse James Dupree, right?
Mm-hmm.
How did that come about?
We got introduced to Jesse by Jude Cole, who Jude and Kiefer Sutherland had this label called Ironworks that we got involved with.
I just interviewed Kiefer a few months ago. Yeah.
Yep, Kiefer's been a friend to us, and they signed us to their label right as the label was kind of finishing up. Because they've always been really great friends with us. And they introduced us to Jesse. He used to manage that label for them. They said, well, if you guys are getting into rock and roll and you guys are from the Midwest, this is the guy you got to know. And I think us and Jesse bonded immediately over just the fact that we wanted to work as a band. It's all we wanted. We didn't care if the label was giving us money. We didn't care if we were going to be on a big tour. We just wanted to get out there in that little van that we had at the time and play shows. Mm-hmm. We needed to make bands. We didn't have any. And he inspired us to do it. He kind of, forced us to do it a grassroots way. Even though there were a lot of shortcuts that we wanted to take at the time, Jesse just kept pounding into our head that if you're going to make something that nobody can take away from you, a fan base, you're going to go out there and do it this way, one person at a time. So yeah, Jesse finally invited us up to Sturgis a few years ago, and this will be our 4th year going.
Yeah, I think so.
That's got to be a party, man.
Well, what's cool about it is honestly nobody's from Sturgis, hardly. So you're playing to people from all over the country. So all year round, you hear people say, "Oh, I saw you in Sturgis when you're in, West Virginia. I saw you in Sturgis when you're in Arizona." And that's the coolest part about it.
Yeah, of course. I mean, because the way I discovered you was, I was looking at bands that come in. Greg had talked to me. He goes, "Have you heard Wayland? You've got to interview these guys." He goes, "They're fucking rock and roll as rock and roll gets." I go, "No, I haven't, but I'll check them out." Soon, within the second song, I was like, got to interview these guys. Because you're bringing something that has not been brought to the table in a very long time, and you're young guys, Like, I got a question for you. What was the first, I'm going to say, album that you bought with your own money?
First album
that you can remember buying with your own money?
Green Day Dookie.
Green Day Dookie, okay.
It was the cassette.
Yeah, exactly, yeah.
Mine was there's two in the same day actually. First I got a CD player and I got to go out and I got it was B.B. King's Greatest Hits and Nirvana Nevermind.
Wow.
Yeah.
You're very eclectic, my friend.
Yeah, it didn't sound very different to me.
So let's talk about the upcoming album. I don't want to take too much of your time. Let's talk about the upcoming album. Tell us about that. Who produced it? Some of the songs we're looking forward to hearing.
It's getting rowdy in here.
Yeah, it's sorry about that.
It's a rock and roll show.
Yeah.
Well, Justin Reimer produced it in Memphis, Tennessee.
Okay.
We spent most of last year there. On and off. We toured the entire time we made the record.
So
we'd do a week in the studio, then we'd go out and tour for 2 weeks and come back. So we were kind of trying out the songs on the road as we were recording them, working out the parts.
Now, you were playing a song, and forgive me because I don't know the song, but it's the one he said, we try out a lot of new stuff. I believe Come Undone? Was that?
Come Back, maybe?
Come Back?
It's a
yeah, during soundcheck.
We did a couple new ones during soundcheck. We did All We Had was the first one.
Lunatic.
Oh yeah, Mind of a Lunatic.
But the one where he just gave those awesome screams.
Yeah.
Okay, that was incredible. Is that on the new album?
Yep, I'll be on there.
Yeah, I'm so looking forward to hearing
We
it.
got a big batch of songs. We're playing a lot of them live, and we're actually the record's done. But since then, we've still been writing and recording every time we swing through Memphis.
Yeah, and so getting back to Jesse, have you ever done a show with Jesse?
Probably 100 of them.
Okay.
We play with Jack a lot. They've been all the guys in the band are friends of ours, and we have a rowdy time.
Now, are they from? Where are they from? Are they from Georgia?
Well, Jesse's from Atlanta.
Okay,
that's
what
South Carolina.
Okay, that's what I was thinking. But does he sponsor? Does he give you plenty of his bourbon that he's been making?
Fortunately, yes. Yeah. No, the bourbon is a separate thing. But the bourbon has helped us out a lot, actually.
As it does.
I mean, they've given us a lot of hangovers, but they also They paid, helped sponsor our trip out to LA to play the NAMM show with Shinedown a few years ago. Stepped up. So when certain opportunities have come up, the Bourbon's been
now. I can't remember the guitarist's name right off from Shinedown, but he is from Memphis.
Zach Myers.
Zach, thank
Honestly,
you.
We borrowed a lot of his guitars and amps to make the record. He's a good friend of ours.
I partied with his mother. She's a cool lady. Sir, you're a fan, obviously. You've sat here. Is there anything you would like to ask these guys?
No.
Okay.
Spent some time on the bus with them.
There you go. Well, guys, first of all, let me tell you, thank you so much for sitting in with Outlaw Renegade Nation. Thank you for letting us listen to your sound check. I hope you go far. You are the punch in the nuts that rock and roll needed, and I hope that only the best for you guys. And since you're doing 200 or 300 shows a year and you've already been here into Knoxville, I look forward to seeing you again in about 6 months. And hopefully we can talk again then.
For sure. Thank you, man.
Okay, thanks a lot, guys.
Thank you.
We appreciate the positive wishes.
Hey, thanks a lot, guys. This has been Michael Palmer and Gregory Marmon with Outlaw Renegade Nation. Talk to you motherfuckers soon. Peace out, bitches.
Nice.
Nice work.
Good sign off.
Yeah. Take it easy. Thank you so much. I totally appreciate it. Can't wait to see you live. I love that you're doing third too. You know, that's an early night for me because I'm fucking old. And when Will told me that y'all were going up there, I'm like, Harley, no, I fucking love it. Because I wasn't going to miss you live. That's just something I wasn't going to miss.
He's like, I get to go home early tonight.
Yeah, there you go.
See ya. Nice to meet you guys.
Brusky, find another seat.